Robert Rodriguez playing Terror always had like this one. Sure, it may not be the best zombie movie out there, it does have issues, but at least it is fast and furious. When you have the director from the hit film From Dusk Till Dawn, then you know you're in for a good time. So the story of this one is that a group of survivors, they have to survive a biochemical outbreak where zombie-like creatures are after them, and they also have to deal with the military as well. Yeah, I remember seeing this on TV back in 2007, but it wouldn't have been until several more years later that I had finally checked it out. And coming back to rewatch this movie, I realized that this one does have some issues. Some characters who had zero character development here, they survived at the end. I'm like, why? Why do some of these minor characters survive when you killed off one of the coolest characters in this film in El Rey? Even though I get why Robert Rodriguez did, he wanted to surprise people, but I would have preferred if El Rey had survived at the end. Robert Rodriguez's filmmaking still works here as he takes everything and throws it at the wall just to see what sticks. This one never gets boring, it's fast-paced, and when it's all said and done, what you have here is an entertaining zombie movie. I like to look at this movie because it is paying tribute to the low-budget grindhouse classics of the 70s and 80s. Character-wise, I thought some really stood out more than others, such as Shirley Darling and El Rey. The chemistry between Rose McGowan and Freddy Rodriguez was pretty decent. Both characters, they go through a lot of shit in this. In fact, Shirley, she ends up losing her leg halfway through the movie, to the point where she actually gets a rocket launcher and an assault rifle gun near the end, which I think is pretty badass and makes her character stand out more. Then there's a small subplot between Josh Brolin's character and Marley Shelton's character, both playing doctors. Yeah, I like how Josh Brolin, he does play the villain in this. He actually ends up getting infected and being turned into a zombie, which I thought could have been explored a little bit more about his backstory. But then again, this movie's all about action. It's fast-paced, that's what it is. Nathan Andrews, I like this character. Definitely, I would have liked to know more about him. I know he's like a doctor, but other than that, you know, as an audience, we don't know, like, what is his backstory. I guess that really doesn't matter in a film like this. But I have to say that when this film has cameos from Bruce Willis, Tom Savini, and Quentin Tarantino, it's really going to stand out. But out of the other movie, Death Proof, which also came out the same day this in the Grindhouse feature, I definitely like the action scenes, the music's on point. And even though the film could have possibly gotten a sequel, I'm glad it never did got that sequel because it wouldn't make any sense. They made it to Mexico at the end, and well, that was the end of the story. But I did like the special effects. I like how a lot of the scenes look very old-style grindhouse classics, like I said earlier, because this movie, it definitely is pretty interesting for what it is. But it's also not a great zombie film. There are some issues here. Some characters, definitely, they push to the side, but for the most part, this is a movie you could just sit down and just have an entertaining time with. At the end of the day, would I recommend this one to people out there who hasn't seen it? Yeah. It's not a great zombie film overall, but at least it is entertaining for what it is. But also at the same time, do not expect greatness here, to be honest. I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10. Yeah, this one is pretty decent, and considering that the late 2000s had some terrible zombie movies, this provides some quality entertainment and some interesting characters as well. Another nice quality about this one is that it's not that long, considering it's only an hour and 46 minutes. Could the story have been better? Absolutely. And some characters should have got better character development. But overall, there is some good things about this movie, despite some issues that I have with it. And that's my review of Planet Terror. Alright, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie. Okay, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.